In the last class, we had a discussion about the incident and problem, how we are going to do. Today, we will discuss about a new module called change. What is change? What is the purpose of it? A change is nothing but change. So, what is change? We are replacing, for example, we are for a simple thing, we are changing our laptop or we are changing our what you called personal thing, sorry, mobile or something, which is a we are conducting a new thing or which are modifying the existing one is called a change. A simple in terminology. When come to the service, sorry, when come to the business point of view, a change is nothing but uh, for example, if you already implemented, so you are adding a some scripts or so you're adding a new functionality which is a change. So like that we are existing a new one on. So there are three types of changes. First one is a normal change. Normal change, and second one is a standard change. Standard change, normal change, and the emergency change. Normal change it's a standard procedure we are doing the every week or something. So like every week we are doing every week or month or every time doing. So which required approvals for the same thing. And every week doing and requires approvals. That means which is a planned maintenance. We are seeing right some applications we are doing for every Monday third morning. So what happened for few applications service for every month they will raise a security patch, right? For example, a mobile if you take, so that's a normal change. For if you want to take a normal change, I'm sorry, we need to do the standard approvals and all other things one. Next one, standard change is nothing but which is a routine thing which doesn't require any approvals. Routine change which doesn't need any approvals. So routine change is nothing but for example, if you want to replace a laptop charger, or every month we are replacing the something like laptop data, what you call, unnecessary data, deleting like that. This is the one. Or if you are doing every month, we are replacing the router, like we are replacing the LAN cables or something like that's the one. And emergency change is nothing but it's for example, so you got a P1 issue. P1 is issue nothing but you got a very big issue. Very big issue is nothing but you got a big issue. Big issue is sent. So there is something is going on. There is outage is going on, and your business has been stopped. It, which means the business has been stopped is nothing but what it will do, the business is stopped in that mode, we need to fix it, we need to promote into the production. So it's a one what you called immediate change. Immediate change which requires CAB approval. So CAB is nothing but change advisory board. So normal change, what we will do, it's a narrative one every week or every month. Whatever we are doing the changes, that will be the normal change. And standard change, which is a routine change and which doesn't need any approvals for it. And emergency, which is an immediate change, which required a cab approvals and other things. This is the three basic changes in the one right now we are using, which is for the ITSM. I hope we clear right three different type of changes. This is the, yeah, this is the one of the interview question. Now we'll see how it has been implemented in ServiceNow. Now, if I go to the change management, click on new. See here there are three types of one. Create a normal change. Normal change is general purpose change type that requires one or more approvals. Standard change second from the approved pre pre-approved change template. These changes doesn't require approval. Third one, create emergency change. Emergency changes are a change type that must be implemented as soon as possible. So if you click on that normal change, what we can do is click on that one. So if you click on that one, what happened by default? It will go to the type is go to the normal state, and these are the different states in change. New, assess, authorize, schedule, implement, review, closed, cancel. So this is the change number and who is requested by. So for example, this request is done by some able tutor or some any other one. We can pick their name, we'll do it. And what is a category? So like software or hardware or service, whatever we are doing, we can pick it. I'm just making it as a hardware. And service, if you are offering any if you are making any service changes, we can make it SAP. And I don't think it has offering any services. If any, we can pick it. And if any configuration item is nothing but for which one we are doing right now. I'm just making this as a laptop. So here, what is a priority for it? So I'm just making as a moderate priority, and risk is also moderate and impact also low. That's one. And here the short description, text for test for normal change. And if you give it a normal, it will come as a normal. So no need to change this one. And state is this one. Conflict we enter native one, and assignment to which group we need to assign it. So we can pick any user. I'm so sorry. So if you want to, we can write an assignment rule so that it will auto assign the one. But mostly we cannot assign the we cannot one. So right now I'm just assigning to the software, and right now it is not showing anyone. Okay, that's okay. I'm just adding to the bent angling. I'm sorry. So bent angle we can do it, and we can add it. And now here the justification why we need to do the add these changes. For the justification we can write it. And what is the implementation plan, we can write the same thing here. That means how we are going to implement this change. And risk, what is the risk if you implemented this change, what is the risk on the project, and what could be the impact on the project, we can explain this one. And back out, For example, if that emergency change was one backout, so we can how what is the plan we have to write it. And test plan, what is a test plan? Test plan is nothing but for how we are going to testing this one once you have executed the change. That's we can write it. And this when we are the plan started, when we are planning to start, for example, I'm just making 10th one and 11th. This is the plan window. If you want to cab required, we can do it. This we can discuss later. And actual start and actual end date is nothing but plan start is nothing but what is your we are proposing to execute this change. So when it is started and when and actual start and actual end date is that when we are doing the all the stuff. Conflict no and notes. If you want any additional comments, if you want any watch notes, we can edit. Right now I'm not anyone. I'm just going to submit this one. Now, what happens? We have created a successfully created a one change request. Let me and if you have changes it one. So right now it was in the normal change. That means new state. If you want to change the status, so we need to uh, click on the request. If you click on the request, it will go to the state, go to the SS, and state go to the SS, and it will go into the approval for the some different group. Whoever in this group, so they need to approve it. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to impersonate the bent angling. So and we can approve this change. So what I am going to do is impersonating bent angling, so he can work on the same thing. So this is the we have written the change. So here what we are going to do is so here the bend the angling, right, we can approve this one. So if you are not approved that one, it was in the access. So if we approve this one, the change state will change it to the authorize. So that means it will went to the next step. So if it is go to the authorize, what happened? Again, it was went for approval for the CAB approval. CAB approval is nothing but which is a change advisory board. So the change advisory board is nothing but they can advise the what are we are doing to all the stuff. Now here, so initially the group members, what are the assignment group has to approve it. Once they have approved, the change advisory board has to approve it. So here there are a lot of people. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to impersonate as a able tutor and will what you called will approve the change. Let's see what it happens. Oh my god. I don't think this guy has doesn't roll, so we cannot do. So what I am going to do is I'm just impersonating also Luke Wilson. He has the one of the change request. So let's. I think he doesn't have ITL role right now. Yes, here we have. Or open or else you can go to the self service. What is this approvals tab? Yeah, go to the my approvals. See, this is the one which was pending with one. So right now what it was, our item is this is the one. So change request 300 and if I approve this one, if we approve, the change state will be automatically changed to the scheduled one. That means we are giving the permission to do now. Now just we just impersonating to the again Beth Anglin. So what we will do in the one. So if anyone what this approval is rejected, so it will not go to the next step. Now I'm just going to the change request. So this is the one. Now what happened right now? It was scheduled. If it is scheduled, I think there are that means in the schedule we can write a what are that thing all the thing. Now if you click on this implement button, that means we are going to implement the change for the same thing. So if you go to the implement, what happened? There are two tasks will be created. I think let's check how it is. Yeah. See, if you are going to implement, there are two tasks, which is a implementation task. Second one is a post implementation testing. So that means the implementation which we are going to execute, it will be shown here. And also, what happened whenever this change is going, so the implementation has to done. Whenever this change is working, so the user has to perform these two. And I am opening this one task. I'm just closing this one. So I'm just adding this to the hardware. Okay, I'm just adding this to the hardware. This one. So I'm heading to the David loop. So whenever if you added this one to the David loop, so what had happens, they can go to the next one. Now he can close that one. So I'm directly closing this task and I'm just saving this one. And that means once the implementation is done, what it happens, the post implementation will be added for the same thing. That means how it is going. The post implementation, I'm just going to the closed one, and if I close this task, if I close this task, then automatically the state will go to the review state. That means we have implemented a change and we did a perform the testing also. So now in the review, we can they can review if everything is okay, they can close the ticket. Or if you want to if it is everything is okay, you can close down or else you can raise a bug. So what I'm going to do is, if I am going to close this one, you can write here the state like and one more thing, if I am go to the schedule, see, whenever the change task is created first task, so that's the time and that's the end time is the second, the state is changed to the review. That means after the closure of the second change task. So that means this is the planned one we have done, and this is the actual one we have performed. We have performed almost 2 minutes for the same thing, 1949 to 1951. So this is the basic thing we are doing, and also whenever we are filling, we need to give the some appropriate uh, closer information. And also one more thing, just reload. For example, if changes, if you have any problems for this one, we can add here also. That means what are the problem tickets is depending upon this change also, we can add. I'm just adding a one two three. I'm picking some two things, we can save the same thing. So from this slash bracket we can add it, or else from that problem, if you have anything, we can add from the, also we can add the same thing. And next one, incident fixed by change. That means the incidents which we are working, some if you if you perform this change, what happened? So this will be if you promote this change, what happened that incidents will be go to the what you called sorry, will be fixed it. That means that issue will be permanently fixed. So those type of incidents we can add it. For example, right now I'm not added, so what I'm going to do is I will add a few more things. Oh my God, this is not added. Let me check it again. I think this user has some idea access issue, so it doesn't have permission to do it. Or you can see incidents caused by change. Incidents caused by change is nothing but if this change has been implemented, so there is some issues will come. This incident, so that means there are few incidents has been what you can say done because of this change implementation. So at that scenario, what we will do is we will write the all the stuff. This is the basic thing about the how the normal change will operate the same here. So like that, and also so as we discussed one, and also if he everything is okay, he can give the successful or successful with issues and unsuccessful. Successful, I'm writing some commands, codes, and close this one. Now what happened? The change has been closed it, and it was done for the same thing. This is the normal change how it end. So if similarly you can reject it, if you reject also it will happen the same thing. I hope it clear. This is a very important the change request. And next one, okay, so the next one is what I am going to do is we am going to do the change request with the, because this change whatever we are applying the logic and the business rules everything is okay. So standard change select the available from the pre-approved change templates, and these templates doesn't require approval. In the normal change, what happened? The assignment group and the CAB approvals as required, and in the standard change, it was saying that it doesn't require any approval. Let's see how it's going on. Now I can go it pre-approved template. You just click on it and see hardware asset is there, server standard changes, network standard change. So here what I am going to do is server standard changes. So decommission local office domain control or reboot the Windows server. Anyone we can pick it and report we can pick it, and this first go to one, this is one. And now the first one that are this what you call hardware we can give it, and services anything we can pick it, SAP. And reboot, see, if you click on the template, reboot the Windows server has been picked automatically. Short description and description. Reboot a Windows server after purchasing it to a or to click a default. Make sure that that is removed from the monitoring alerts and the network attached storage is unmounted and that resource cleaned. And this is the one. And here I'm just going to add this to the hardware group. So better we can add a hardware group. Again, the same guy is there. Okay, David Dunn. I'm just assigning here. So if they are giving the planning, so justification not given anyone. This is implementation plan. They have written implementation plan. And risk they have not. We can edit and backout plan. There is no blackout plan. This change template and ensure that the monitoring console is all green and after serving before closing the request. This is the one. And next one when we are going to schedule this one. See earlier it was required a cab approval and now it was not shown any other stuff. Why? Because for the standard one we don't require any other things for the same. Conflicts, notes you can edit. But right now I'm not anyone. Now, so what happened? A change will be automatically created, and so there is, from here the directly we can go to the schedule step. Earlier, what happened from the new to SS to the authorized, and then from the SS, we can request an approval. From the request an approval to we can authorize. That means if the user has to approve it, and if he approved, then only that go to the scheduled one. But in the change request, since it is doesn't require any approval, it directly go to the authorized state for the same thing here. Now, I'm just going to click on the schedule. See, if you click on the schedule, directly go to here, and what happened? The timings will be automatically added here. Sorry, the time we have added from here. One, if it is all good, if you want, you can on hold the change also. Whatever we require, that we don't read. So, and if you click on this implement, if you implement from there, the step, the process is same. That means the two tasks will be generated: the pre-implementation and the post-implementation. This you has to close it, and I'm just hardware, and we can assign to the David Lou, and save this. So I'm just directly closing. If these two is closed, then directly the state will change it to the from implement to the review stage. From implement to the review stage for the same thing here. So for here, and also for this one, if you see, it was directly coming from a workflow. So that means it has been automatically the change request also. For the change request table, we have added the workflow for the change. So whatever we need to do for the same thing. So right now it was waiting for here this change. So like this, if you want to, we can configure the all the stuff also. Now this was done, and if to a set review, if you close this one, again it is asking the close code and the successful. So here the difference is in the standard change. Here it doesn't require any approvals. So that means if it is a normal, if it is a reboot a server, so we have a standard procedure which we will call as SOP. We will follow the same steps, and we can do the same thing here. This is the standard change how we are following. In the normal change, the assignment group approval and CAB approval required. And in the standard change, this assignment group, there is no approvals for the same. This is the one of the interview question for the same thing. And the next one, they will ask what is the difference between normal change and a standard change. Normal change is a we are performance activity while you're doing all the which required approvals for the same. Whereas the standard change doesn't require any approvals from the any user. And now we will do. I hope you clear right the standard change. Hello, Pawan. Can you hear? Very good. Very good. Now, the create emergency change. Why we will get a create? You can go for mute, please. Pawan, can you go for a mute? I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you so much. So, create emergency change. Now, immediately you got an issue. So, if you got an issue, you need to fix it, and you need to promote it to the production as usual. So, that means what we have to do is the production. in the issue, we cannot stop it one, we have to fix it. So you get required it, and I'm just making this one as some application software, and we can write it. And this was, I'm just changing to application team, so application development. And here there's one, I'm just adding to the Andrew Och. So this is the one, and I can write anything. You can write a test thing, and planning, we can write all those details. And the immediately, right, I'm just making here this one. If it is a cab required, you immediately, of course, if any normal change, we can create a cab record. And I'm just going to the save one. Here, if I click on the change, so what happened? It doesn't require any approvals. I'm just click on request approval, since it is emergency change. So emergency change directly go to the cab approvals. It doesn't require any approvals from the any user. So that means in the emergency change, uh, doesn't require any group approvals. It only require the CAB approval. CAB is nothing but change advisory board. So if you want to one, we can write it. And if any cab is recommended, any other things, cab required, cab date, when it was cab done, so cab, what is the recommended, we can note down all this stuff. So what I am going to do is, I'm just going to approve on behalf of anyone user of the one. So if I approve, it will go to the approve scenario. And if it is rejected, it will directly, it will go to the scheduled one. From here, the step is same. If you go to the schedule, and next step, we are going to the implement stage. In the implement, there are two tasks will be created for the same thing, hardware. I'm just, so we can assign this to the different group also. I'm just going giving to this one, boy ruggery. And I'm just closing the task. Next one, this is the one. And David Lou, and close the task. So now if a two task is completed, so immediately this will go to the review stage, and from this review we can close the same thing. So for example, I am just going to add in the incident. So for example, if I add this one is an incident, so in the incident, what I am going to do is, in the related records, I'm just opening this one. So here I am just adding the change request. So if I add this change request, so what it will happen is, see, from the incident also we can create a three type of changes. What are we required? Right now we have added a change, right? So it doesn't show. And if I rix this one, see, incident, what are the one? For example, if any caused by thing, and also if I give this one also, let's see what it will happen is. So, so if I give this one like that, from that we can directly add the same thing, or else we can add, see, this one. So that means this will be waiting for the all the stuff. If everything is okay, we can close the same thing, the same successful. And here what the issue was, so still from the implement schedule, from the schedule, the process is same. From the schedule, it will go to the implement. If the implement the state is going to the implement, it will create a two tasks, and the implementation task and the post implementation task. If both were closed it, again the state change state will go to the review. From that review, what we will do is, from that review, what we will do is, we can close the change request. This is the basic thing. Just give a minute. Laptop is getting charge low. I will connect a new charger. Just give a minute.